Man, this is how I know they're hacking me. Even before I noticed my camera, the green light went on before and it becomes fuzzy here, and that's how much you're hacking. Anyways, this is me in the morning. As you've known, I have to admit the gases are not here presently because that's how you know I don't imagine it. I had to run out of my apartment with a gas mask. Now I bought this one, but it had this filter, meaning now I put the old filter on this one and I put a new one because yesterday I tried using the old filter and even though I rinsed it, not with the tap water, with water I got somewhere else, which if I could have a coffee, that's how I checked it's bad because coffee filters a little bit. I had a coffee and I didn't feel that sand in my mouth. This is what I have to live with the Montreal police. People think it's a little bit of harassment. No, this is crime that has to be known on an international level. This is not a little crime that Apopex and the police have done. This is called not only torture and bothering like a little bit like one-on-one or even when they send this is toxifying of the whole water system. And who would I trust to do the water test if the whole system is corrupt? This is what people don't understand. I'll show you here that I already suspected that the way the guy went out of his way to find out what filter. The guy was seemed nice at Walmart, and it's a Walmart I usually don't go to, but they known I've gone to it. So they want to make sure I have no water source. I don't know if it's to make the parasites they injected me reproduce in my body, but there's some kind of reason why they don't want me to having access to water. Food too. They contaminated food that came from Italy. I don't know how they did it, the bag, or I don't know. Because this is the thing is, how do I know? Because if you blindfold me, I'll know where there's electromagnetic toxicity. Everywhere there's some kind of factory, something that could give off something. I feel it. This is the nature of why I am in work. I couldn't do regular jobs all my life. And I was like always suffering from even, that's the whole point. Chronic fatigue, environmental sensitivity. It's the worst thing. Now I line my hands of oil but this is the thing. Now I'm going to test it real time. I already saw that. So now here I have to make sure I don't make a mistake and put tap water in there because I found out through this one, even after it was other tap water, like a whole bottle that I got somewhere else. Now I'm going to be left still with no water because it's a community center where I got the water. But they're going to probably pollute that one too. And then who's going to have the knowledge of saying why? And if the water is not polluted exactly to kill, like I don't know what it is. If it's some kind of particles just for me with the crisp, I don't know the technology they're using. And I'm going to probably be making a video on the police event yesterday. Oh my God, is my intuition telling me that's staged? And even if it wasn't staged, it was weird karma. But the thing is that they would show it. Karma doesn't show up like that. Karma shows up with police when you least expect it. And somebody filming, the voice of that girl filming the police downtown, that was staged to show me what they're going to do, even real bullets, if I resist, if they try to arrest me. Obviously, if they try to detain me for any reason, they're showing that they're big criminals. But they are. And I don't know. I'm saying it, but it's hard to believe, even though I see all these people that never lived what I'm living, but they still see Gaza, right? They still see the laws are ridiculous. They still see some people, other people being temporarily harassed or detained in a forceful way. And they did it to me, and I let that go because I wasn't injured to the point of staying in the hospital. But I was injured, but it was just something like a bruise, but it was a pretty bad bruise. And they were even bringing me to the hospital in an illegal way, meaning they fabricated, they bother me. And when I reported that people were attacking me, oh, he could be dangerous. This is a crime so big, my dear Montreal police, that you've got to shit your pants knowing that. Do the research. Karma exists. The planets are balanced. The planets don't eat each other in a black hole every second. If that would happen, then it would be like this little illusion, temporary 3D life, demonically charged, invented like you're a big monstrosity. But I'm not saying it with hate, with love, because you're part of me. Everybody is part of you. That's the hardest thing to learn in spirituality. But it is still on 3D by your methods of punishment to us. It is a criminality that is so big. So I'm going to show you how I already figured out this. So this is water I bottled somewhere else, which I know right now just by, they know it already, they suspect. But even if they didn't, now they know. So this is tap water that's not like mine. But look how it flows from the filter. Do you see? It's not, the other one was flowing permanently, and I'll show you. Like, I mean, like a flow. This one already, it was going crooked. That means I don't know if at the beginning it was like that, even the other one. See, I'm not sure, but when I'll have to taste the water and trust that. Well, I'll boil it and I'll filter it through something else. But that's the thing. When you have to live like that you don't trust the landlord that's supposed to help people that have health problems, and you don't trust the police. What kind of world are we living in? And why would I be crazy if it's not about sounding crazy. You could sound crazy. Yesterday at one of the centers where I went, maybe it was some kind of energy, or that they even provoked that made people go a little wild. Maybe it was even natural, but somebody was freaking out in the club where I go, that there is a lot of people that have mental health there, but they also take people that need food, a coffee. So this is what I mean. Community centers that help people always have to be related to mental health. So if there's ever a disagreement, or the government doesn't like someone, they'll just come and pick them up and bring them in psychiatry. So this is what I mean, is it's a weapon. Psychiatry is a weapon. There is psychiatric problems on the planet. Duh, if the police is doing this to me, I think it's a bit Magnotta type. And I'm not insulting you, police. You do the research. You would have put away somebody like Magnotta. See, the guy with the knife yesterday, it would take 2 officers to put him out. No matter what drugs he was on, no matter what kind of energetic thing, because that guy, his size, there was big officers. At maximum, 3 officers would have been necessary. That's why the guy said overkill. They had like 30, even like 100 officers almost. So that's for me a charade. So I'm including a lot of things in this video. But what I'm trying to say is that here, my life in Montreal, and like I said, I've contacted everybody I could, the Supreme Court included. And if they don't answer, I have nothing to lose. I know I'm connected. I know I don't fear death. That's why the police fears me. Because even if I'm one and I'm sick and I could hardly bend down to tie my shoelaces, they know, they see. So they probably fear me too. I don't know. I wouldn't, if I were the police, I wouldn't fear me. First of all, I'm not violent. And second of all, they have to hurt me first. Illogically, if they would have a paper that says what I did, they would contact me by phone or by email and say, you did this, this, this. So for that, we're going to have you evaluated or lock you up or jail you, home jail, or take away your phone. But they have nothing on that. So if they would be at my door or any time in the metro, my dear Montreal monstrous criminal police, and I'm saying it with passion too, because that's what you're proving to me. You took it this far, a little bit like Gaza, huh? Sounds like Gaza. You're not giving me access to water. Even in Gaza, they had access to water. So this is what I mean by criminality. And I'm part Jewish. Again, I repeat that. Not for Anthony Housefather, but just because it's the right thing to do. I'm against anti-Semitic. I'm against anti-human free rights. And I'm against invading any country, even if it's a nationality I don't like, or I have beef with, or I have disagreements with, or I want to conquer secretly. So this is what I mean, is what's happening in Gaza. My mom, if she'd be alive now, she would say that's horrible, even though she's Jewish, or at least more Jewish than Hitler would have allowed. That's all I could say, because they had the fake papers. That's what the story I heard. Is it true? Again, a lot of things in history are fabricated. And I'm sure the biggest thing, even if she was totally Italian, my mom, she was almost killed by the Nazis that were trying to kill Jewish people. That is wrong. But what the Jewish people or the Zionist Jewish or the military is doing in Gaza, for me, it's wrong. You want to punish me for that, Montreal police? Is that the kind of Nazi system that we've created now in Canada? Or you want to punish me for asking for help for being sick in my apartment? No, you guys are sick. Apopex is sick. Because if you are there to help me, police and Apopex, and you enjoy now 16 years Apopex putting products, even if they would stop now, which I doubt, because yesterday again, whether it's Apopex or the police, it was in my apartment, so it's in my dwelling. So is the rental board going to take their... No, this is an international crime. That's why I sent the information to the Supreme Court of Canada. This is that if people believe me, which I think some people out of the people I know or subscribe to my channel at least believe me, is a crime that is not reasonable, first of all. So let's just see now. This is the older filter. So I put some water there. It's not a lot, but it flows right away. See? You see how fast it flows? And this has been already with whatever was... Now, I don't know if it's because at the beginning... See, I cannot be sure 100% until I taste the water and risk my life. So I'm just going to dump this here. Am I surprised they stopped my camera? I don't know what you saw because, again, they messed with my camera. So this is the one that I'm showing you now. That's the new one that I just took out of this box. Because I bought two of them. Well, the one that came with the carafe, the jug. So look how badly it's flowing. Maybe it's going to get better. Let's find out if it gets... It looks like different from the other one, the flow. So you see, it's always intermittent. Something is fishy, no? I would say. So I wonder what... Because this is what they're able to do. They could call the company and deputize. I don't know if it's a Canadian company. If it's sold now with the things happening in the States, the system shows 0. This is showing you the old filter. That should be going intermittently because it's already like a week that I use it. Meaning if it was a bit clogged because of some kind of thing in the water supply, a bit more sandus. So I don't know what they've done to the new one, but the new one is not working. And I'll leave it on and see if they don't just stop it. Because sometimes when I put the phone down, I don't know if I paused it. But all I'm trying to show you here is that the flow is weird. You see how it drops. There's no steady... Well, now it's going a bit... I hope I'm wrong. See, I really hope I'm wrong. Really, really, really hope I'm wrong. See, now it's more flowing. Again, no, it's doing the same thing. Why isn't it going smoothly? There's enough water here to make it the pressure. Yeah, I don't trust this filter. But that's the thing is, if I ate a hamburger, and I almost died eating a hamburger. I almost died. And the fact that I could show you, I don't know which. So, why did I do this test? To show you that when I went to Walmart, it's a certain Walmart, and I've said it, Walmart's, Maxis, Metro, all big box stores, IGA, I guess. I don't know, I haven't gone to an IGA in a long time, but they're all, like I said, people come next to me. I had some juice yesterday, Oasis, but when I went and buy it, maybe because I bought the one on special, so I even don't know how they do it. They shelve them. Do they contaminate them from the source and then bring a certain batch? They always check me, so they have some kind of... Well, you could check that if you see how many times I show fire trucks, and you might think, well, yeah, maybe nowadays there's more. I swear, like it was a year or two ago, or 3 even, this lady, I was going at my Metro near Park for a certain reason. And people, I at least I could say that. I don't want to say where my landlord or the organization that deals with my landlord for helping, whatever. It's put it this way. When I go pay my rent, I got out of Park Metro. What happened? There was a fire truck parked right in front of, like it's a lot of, like in front of Maxi. I just showed it recent. And if people think that's a coincidence, then you have to go check your mental, because if it would be once in a year or once in a month, or once in a month is still impossible. But this lady never saw a fire truck. She goes, I never saw a fire truck this close. Her kid was all freaking, could it be a staged? But I don't know. It didn't look staged. But this is the idea that we look up to firemen, police, this, that, but when they could be corrupted, or their vehicles with undercover police that are there to do a horrible crime, if they're really there to protect national security, someone that wants to bomb the Palais de Justice, talk about, if I were like, they heard me on the phone, I want to hurt someone or this, that. No, when I say in the moment, stop attacking me, one day I might get a bit physical. Oh, I wonder why I say that. Police, how would you like it? Like I keep saying it, if I'm attacking you every day, Or even like that guy, he was mentally, let's just say it's like they showed it and it's not a charade. What they did was totally criminal. And the fact that it was stupid, that two cars, one time the police were making fun of me when they were still comfortable talking to me and I wasn't like in their face, meaning was that when I wasn't contesting that they were always up my ass, when they were near my bus stop, I would say, oh, hi. And I was pretending I was giving them signals to how, and the guy goes, no, you're not doing, he goes, what is that? Well, I'm saying, what is that, police? If you were making fun of my hand signals, which I never took a course, what is that when you have two cars coming face to face, smashing on each other? Those were stunt police, probably doing it on purpose. Either that or you're really bad drivers and really bad in high tension situations. Both is bad, what we've seen on TV. Either it's bad training and bad attitude, especially when you have so many police. It wasn't just to give me a psyops. Because sometimes I have to admit, what all they're showing me with these poisoning everything and my food, they're showing me at any time we can kill you when you want. So you're showing me, at least with the tech, with the help of the tech and the KGB attacks on me, and the poisoning, like you quarantine the whole area for like half a day to make sure now every time I open my water, it's contaminated. And how would I have the water tested? And who would solidify this test? I don't want to say now, could it happen? Maybe, maybe not. But this is what I mean. If it's someone from the government, they're corrupted by the police under national security. So this is what I tell people, that someday, if the spiritual energies don't compulse people to the people that are higher up. Some people were saying there's the white hats. There's some people that are trying to change the world to less corrupt government officials, police, all that. But I think we're far from that for the next few years. So what do we have to do, police, in the next few years? Do we have to have a revolution? Really, sticks and stones, not one. If you need 30, 50, 100 officers for one guy, what are you going to need if there's 1 million people on the streets? I'm Montreal police. Well, what would you have done now if it was 1 million people like that guy with knives, sticks, and clubs? I'm not trying to organize that. But people seeing this video see that I'm at the le bout du fil. You're poisoning my water. At least kill me. I'm not saying that I want to be killed, but at least kill me and get it over with. Don't make my life that you forced me to say, you're boxing me in so much as cowards. Because if you'd say we want to torture you so bad, you're contaminating my water. The guy at the Walmart, I'm telling you right now, I sense it, that there was something wrong with the guy. He was like, he comes up to me and he goes and get the boxes. And he shows me that it's mailed, meaning, so this video, obviously, if I find out now, if I dare, even after boiling it, even put that water in my mouth, because right now, if I open the water and I just touch, it's like sand in my mouth. It's like I know it's not potable. So, and they were laughing at me, sending trucks near me, one with oil, one with water, saying, not water for human consumption. That's what you want to show me, that everywhere I could get water, either with CRISPR or with ladies, where I bottle my water, you send undercover police there to snatch the water from my hands. What kind of scolding would you need, even in the way you do it to people that you grab on the street? Wouldn't you need what you did that to that guy to you, police? Am I Eve? Am I mentally unstable saying that? Oh, but that's just if you would be doing all these things that I'm imagining. F you, man. I'm telling you, if I'm swearing at you on camera, police, that means I'm fed up with your corruption. Whatever the monstrosity that has taken form in Montreal, able to do this to me by asking for help, is a crime that is so big. Never mind the Superior Court, Amnesty International, even though I tried to reach them a few years ago. What you're doing to me is something not palpable. From one weird director in Apopex that still works for the city that got a promotion for poisoning me on purpose, and he was giggling how we didn't know, we forgot that you didn't like the pest. So out of that monstrosity, that guy could influence the city of Montreal, to influence the police, to be so corrupt that when I asked them, because I'm freaking out trying to go to the hospital from the products, you managed to put more and injections of more perverted things to make me so in what planet, in what dimension do I seem unstable right now? So this is what you mean. Sure, if it would have been 5 years ago, before my meditation advanced and my chakras connected more, whatever, I'm not going to explain things that are even hard to explain for scientists. Before that, yes, I would have been, so I would have been, they're great. Of course, if right now I believed in fear and panic and worry, I would be like, people, look, believe me, please. I would be like desperate. And I should be desperate when you can't drink water. And I have to hope juice is not contaminated, which most of it even that is. I had to go somewhere yesterday to get water from the sink, like a person in those movies, like those apocalypse movies that gets water from. This is bleh, disgusting, Montreal police. So, and I know you get triggered by this, but imagine how I should be triggered. And if I do have some access to other dimensions, karma, what would I should be wishing on you right now? From your point of view, from my point of view, I totally, and I could say it as honestly as I say you contaminated my water and probably even my newer filter that I bought with that. The original filter wasn't, but it got poisoned. Or maybe the filter too was, I don't know. I don't know if they could do that. I don't know if the companies would let them, but I don't know how bad it is. Right now, that filter is not working like the original one. So that is scary shit, man. And if I'm wrong, do I still show this video? Because everything else I said is true. The water is still contaminated. Maybe it's just for me. Maybe it's for everybody. I don't know if it's with CRISPR. I don't know how they could do that. Imagine the technology they're using. Just and is it because that they're getting that I don't know what happened with the firemen that they're showing on TV. Well, so what? Any kind of has dangerous any jobs. There's danger, right? And police is in danger. Duh, they have to stop people that are unstable. So don't become unstable yourself, and then I'll support you and I'll take out these videos. Why keep on doing it and saying, well, but because we're status, we can do it. Just like Epstein, he could do it. But no, sometimes they get stopped too, even the higher people. So this is what I mean. Soon the world, just like the BBC, is maybe Trump is doing a lot of things that I don't agree with. And I don't think his mentality is the one I'd want. But he's doing the work for good people, meaning it's like saying, I tell you, police, that guy's one. And if you want to intimidate me, that you'll come to my door, break my door down, beat me up, tase me. You could do it. I'm not saying I could stop you. Or not in the moment, not with my hands, not with my imaginary weapons that you're going to say that I could use. Who knows? So this is what I mean. But what about if people say, no, we don't want to live like Warlock Superman? And what if it's not one guy with a little knife or a gun? What if it's 1 million people on the streets now with weapons, even guys like armies that have them or that come on the streets and say, we're fed up of these laws. We're fed up of police beating on anybody and shooting anybody they want and attacking people that ask them for help. This is the one that should trigger people to say, in a couple of years, even after I'm dead, you wait a bit to see if the police at least reform. See, I don't want to start an emergency thing just to help me be on the street now in the millions. No, I'm saying if eventually you see more than just me torturing, meaning is if I'm a scapegoat, if I'm a martyr, meaning if the police learns from after I'm dead and they stop, even then I would forgive you and say, but don't do it to others. This is what I mean. What you did yesterday on TV, and the guy goes, oh, it was a little heavy-handed. No, that was criminal what you did. That's it. You needed 3 officers and non-brutally. The guy could have been taken down like by 3 officers at the most, even 2, even 1 if he was really well trained in some kind of martial art. So that guy was and yes, he might have been on drugs, this, that, but this is what I'm trying to analyze what I saw on the video. Made no sense that 2 cars come face to face, boom. What the heck? A first 15-year-old kid getting his driver's permit would drive better than that. So that was staged. For me, that was staged. What the police did go head-to-head to themselves, and even if they wouldn't, if they would have gone just enough to crush the guy's legs, because that's what would have happened if the guy wouldn't have jumped over, is that not a criminal act seen on TV? So this is what I mean. Never mind the subterfuge that you're doing to punish me. Never mind that. Now, I'm going to try, I don't know if I'm going to pause the video to try to see if I could drink that water. Yeah, no, there's something fishy with it. I didn't drink it, but I just had it in my mouth, and there's like I don't know if it's because disgusting. What they're doing is disgusting. So maybe that sandy feeling I had would not, but it was still like, if I just go like that with the tap water, let me see, you're going to see, I'm just going to sip some. So again, try to follow me with this. So now, because sometimes just that I put it in my mouth, the water from the tap used to make me feel sandy and sick, almost to the point of because now I've been drinking this water filtered, but it made me sick. But at the beginning, I was sure it was the tap water when I made my coffee, this, that, before I bought the water filters. I was already not using the Brita. And even the Brita, I thought it was something, even though I'm already scared, something, yeah, I'm scared it's other symptoms because I'm sure my water is contaminated. And even if it isn't, I have like a sort of PTSD. If you know the police is injecting you and you ate a hamburger where the girl was sweating that served it to you, and then she came and sit next to you looking out a window, and then she sees an ambulance. The ambulance doesn't come in the store to buy food, nor do they put someone in the ambulance. So I was checking if it's recording, because every time I say something important, I check and it stops. Like yesterday, I'm recording the police with the sirens close to me, and then I find, or I don't know if they had the sirens on, I think they just passed with the lights on purpose, and my camera I was filming myself. I go, is that because I touched the button accidentally? I'm always second doubting myself, but not because I have insecurities or mental fog. No, in fact, surprisingly, and I shouldn't say this or else they're going to put more toxicity. I am ill sometimes to the point of, I don't want to say it, really scary triage now. It's getting bad what they're doing. My water, like my mouth, I thought my kidneys, everything was, I don't know, if I die, kidney failure or something, it's because of what they put in my water supply or even the filters that I buy. Because I just, like right now, an example. I did the same thing. Me, I don't work on fear. This is what people, the police is trying, or the hospital, all the paperwork they did on me tries to make people go on fear. I don't work on fear. I work on logic. I went like this before. And then when I didn't taste the sand, not right away with the same sip, I spit it, and then I saw if I had residue, then I took another sip. But that's what I did originally. Now there's not much left because they gave me one at the Club Ami yesterday. Now when they buy it, it's okay. When I went to the Maxi, by the time I got there, they had agents, because even when I was there was 5 people around me moving shelves right near me. It's like they're confirming as soon as you came in what we thought you usually buy, because they have statistic, how do you call that? It's like an algorithm. They know, they check me. They have spies everywhere. I showed on the window 2 trucks flashing the light towards my window. Now yesterday they parked that truck. It might still be there. It's like a pickup truck. And see, it's still there, but it's not parked. There was one even there. But all these people, it's all there for me. It's all, see, they even have, even not all for me, but it's like they do dual jobs. It's like the police. They stop crime, but they also stop who they don't like. This is the problem with society. Like Trump, he's doing a lot of good, but only when it serves him and when it serves his country. And he did admit that. At least you can't say he lies. He goes, I'm putting the United States first. And the people that are his friends, he promotes. But so what, Montreal police, what are you doing when that officer decided to put all this, or even if it was the 911, whoever decided to put this target on me? It's immoral, it's criminal, and it's against the laws of God. And now, what do I do? See, that's what I mean. When I buy one of these, how can you have someone, how do they pollute? This is what I mean. How do they do that? What kind of structure, like when that fireman chief told me, he goes, it's in the budget. But just imagine right now, the company, that company, if the water, I didn't boil it, but the water should have come out of the filter. It's a new filter. You saw me open it. So how come it's first of all, it doesn't flow properly. So the guy waited because he knew I was going to buy a new filter. They knew Brita wasn't zero. So I want to do the best to clean the water because I'm used to distilled water. So if the store where they sell distilled water, where you bottle it yourself, if a lady cop there, because I'm pretty sure it was a lady cop, they wouldn't have been able to train someone from the store to be that rude. She pretended to be all technical. Yeah, well, not because you need both hands to fill it. And she had hands with slime. That would have taken, if I would have felt that slime there, I should have gone back in the store and given her a piece of my mind. It's a criminal act. You don't do that. You don't take someone's bottle when it's self-serve and you serve them without asking if they want. So that's a criminal act. It's disgusting. But the fact that they contaminated my bottle, the fact that they go that far, and then when I came out at that time, I saw somebody else go in with a bag and give it to them and stay there a long time, a weird van. And like I said, I am always followed. I see police, ambulances, and they even waved at me yesterday, the police. They don't do that to someone they don't know what a thing. They either stop and ask him, are you well, if I have the visor? And they don't know to follow a guy on the visor. Meaning it's like that police that they're mad. That's why they send a lot of ambulances. That I showed that ambulance that the other guy opens, and in the back there's a black bag. So these are the criminalities that I'm living in Montreal. What would you do in my place now? I can't even buy a filter, because wherever I would go, that usually, even by the time I go there, I don't know if it's a place out of Montreal, if it's a place in Toronto, maybe they're not going to contaminate all the stores there on account of I go there once. That's what I mean. Like now, I'm not so sure they're going to contaminate the whole water supply at Club Ami, or when they buy juices, whenever it's somebody bringing it for, or maybe with CRISPR, if it's not something like this, whatever they put there. And people might say I'm crazy, but why would I be crazy? I could prove it to anybody that knows me. Like, by putting something like putting a little bit of cucumber in one water, just letting it dip, and then taking it away, and then giving me 2 glasses of water. I'll tell you the one that you dipped the cucumber, even if it wasn't very acidity, or if it wasn't very mature, or how do you say that? Whatever, like that it has a big scent. Even with a minor thing, like I said, and they tested me even with other things that were very toxic that I almost passed away. So they could have just said, well, we don't know, that truck there, and it was. But the thing is, again, it's not that I want them to kill me, police. But it's like saying, part of me says, yes, I'm on a spiritual path. I'm compelled to evolve, to teach, and to grow spiritually, because it's more necessary to stay in this body than to leave it. Now I know why. It's not only self-preservation. It's, if you're on a spiritual path and not a devolutionary path, the more you're in the body, the more you learn, because the body could either make you learn how to experience the 3D state temporarily, but it could also be, once it awakens, the energy, the remembering of how we are gods that forgot ourselves and split ourselves apart. There was one with Babylon 5. There's a speech. I might show a short. Look for a short on that. So good vibes. This was me giving you a boring update for you, but for me, it's excitement. I don't know where to get my next cup of coffee. If I go out, they'll make the people of the store poison it. I am telling you, they have so many agents after me. And the fact that maybe they're going to stop, I don't know. It's always maybe, because now the tap water, I have to admit, I drank it, or I sipped it. I don't know if they now brought it back to regular, because I can only imagine. And should I show this video? I may wait to show this video. But this is what I mean is, I'm always hoping that it dawns on them, well, maybe we should stop with at least the torture. The presence bothers me still, and it would stop people from hanging around, at least comfortably, family and friends that know my story. But at least the torture that's what I wrote to the court. Basically, I came to the point in saying, harassing and spying and hacking a bit, I could tolerate it to some level. That's why I didn't make the complaint the first year. It took 2-3 years before they ended up attacking me, at least 2 years. So it's the attacks, the secret ones, now polluting my water. It's too much. It's like I feel I have to put this one, even if I'm not sure if they stop now or not. Because even if they stop for half a day or a few hours or a month, how do I know they're not going to start again? I have to make the complaint, police. Just like you, even though I took out my videos, you kept attacking me. But this is different. I'm the victim. I'm the one that should have compensation, or at least apology, or at least stop. That's the third one that I think is the most important one. The other two are optional, but at least stop torturing me like this. People might take to the street, police, and it won't be one. And if you want to make people believe, again, I'll repeat, répète, that one person, you need that many officers. How many? Let's do the math. How many officers would you need for 100,000 of that guy that was on the streets? Yes. How many officers would you need? Tanks, F-35s, drones. Come on, stop being violent. It'll come back to you. You teach this in school. No violence. No. So stop being violent, police. It's as simple as that. Or else God will show you what violence is. Not me, but God will. And trust me, He's everywhere. He's part of you. Can't get away from that, huh?